Alright, I'm gonna make another attempt at this. I'll give you some spoilers. After those two bosses I got stuck on, and that puzzle with the ogre boss thing, there were two more bosses. One of which is your sister, who was actually the boss that was in the Helmo for the longest time. And I'm not really a big fan of that boss because it puts a bunch of crap on the ground, the ice, and it's very hard to approach. And then after that, you fight the biggest cliche ever, which is your doppelganger. And the problem with your doppelganger is not only does he very rarely stagger, he's also very passive and he spams the shurikens. And the shurikens stagger you, unlike they do to the bosses. So it's very frustrating. There's not even a reward for it right now. So basically, you go through all that and you get basically nothing. It's going to be a lot harder to do New Game Plus on this right now because there's a very high chance that you will die on those bosses. I have a feeling that once you can forge the weapons, that things will get better. I did get some tips on the Steam forums shortly after I made that video. I kind of wish I had waited until the morning. Then I probably could have had a more cleaner run. But hopefully, once you start forging the weapons, it'll be a little bit more tolerable. Right now, the game's just way too long. Or even some people talking in Chinese on the forums saying that the runs are taking too long now, and this is not even the end of the game. It sure as hell looked like the final level to me, but apparently there's going to be more after this. So I hope that they'll either shorten the levels or maybe make it so that there's like different endings, different paths you can take. You know how in like Isaac and other games like that, you'll have like sometimes you can go through one level with a couple bosses, and then the other time you go through another one. But actually, Wizard of Legend is probably the closest to what it should be like, where you have, there's multiple bosses, but you only fight 4 per run. So it prevents the game from being too long. I hope that they'll do that, but I'm not exactly sure what to expect at this point. Alright, so I'm not going to commentate the whole thing. I'm going to just play casually. I may not even finish the whole run today, now that I know how damn long the other level is. I don't know how much it actually varies between runs. There's possible that maybe I just got a really long seed, but people are mentioning that a lot of the stuff is in the same place now, so I'm not sure what to expect. I have like pretty much everything maxed out, and that was on easy mode, and I was still taking a ridiculous amount of damage, so I hope that they'll continue to balance the game further, because it's kind of ridiculous to me like how crazy it is right now. It's not the first time I played a game like this where the run length being too long is what stops me from playing it. This game's kind of like Fight and Rage. Fight and Rage has runs that are a little bit too long for how much they ask of the player, but, he was nice enough to add a bunch of extra modes where it's not as necessary. Also, the doppelganger seems completely immune to witch time as well, which would make that boss fight a lot better. I'm not sure why they take that mechanic away from you. It was kind of backwards to me. Just know that you didn't miss much. I'm probably not going to fight the final boss on this because it's very inconsistent right now. I got a pattern where the doppelganger stood in the corner and kept spamming the darts for felt like minutes on end. It was really not engaging. So I gotta be on the lookout for some iron ore. Apparently you need those for the minigame, and apparently the minigame's like also broken right now too. But I do want to give it an honest chance this time. It's also apparently a hidden sword that I want to check out as well. Could use a the bow staff or something right now. But can't do anything about that. If all the levels were this length, I think the game could stand to have, you know, 3 or 4 levels, but the length is like really disproportionate right now. The first 2 levels are pretty short, and then the third one is like, feels like twice their length. I feel like they could make it so that there's like maybe like 1 or 2 puzzle rooms, like max, and then have the rest just be the boss fights. That would make the game flow so much better, because right now it feels like feels a lot like Fight and Rage. Actually, one of the problems with Fight and Rage is that you always go through Death Island and the last level, regardless of which route you take. So the routes really don't have that much bearing on the overall length of the game, when those are the longest levels in the game. Metal Slug 3 had that problem as well. You know, there were all those different routes you could take, but no matter how you sliced it, the last level was like more than half of the game's length, which is kind of what killed replay value for a lot of people. This game is very similar to Metal Slug 3 in that regard. awesome I did not see that guy there. Well, he's dead now. This guy said no to stealth. Like how they still haven't fixed this. I still can't get the achievement either. I'm starting to get kind of annoyed at this point. I should totally be able to get that achievement, but I can't without, like, wiping my save file, which I also don't want to do. It's been like 3 or 4 months now, and they still have not fixed that bug. I don't get what can be so hard about fixing it. It's been like numerous reports about it. Like, I'm locked out of my favorite weapon having a permanent version of it because of a stupid glitch that they won't fix. Yeah, this game's just out to get me. It's even giving me these annoying puzzles right now that aren't easy to solve. Hopefully, if they're really going to double down on having these really long, like Zelda-like dungeon, that they'll add more level chunks to it, so that at least there's maybe a chance that it will be shorter. Okay, so apparently there's a hidden sword over there. I'm gonna try to get that. I have the right stuff for it. I could go for those, but I don't think I'm going to. Just won't give me ones that are easy to solve. Oops. Alright, I can get this. There we go. Cool. Alright, so even if this run's a complete failure, I got this at least. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. I could take these, but it's kind of expensive. Not the best attack power. They're only white rank, so I really don't think that's worth it. Ideally, I wanted to drop a gold one and then just keep it through New Game Plus, or maybe get someone to fix my save file. I might just look into that, because I have actually unlocked all the moves in the game. It's just the game is glitched, and I can't actually get that achievement. So I think that's what I'll do after I cut video today.
门派已被灵虚教所灭。
Of course, he talks like 5 times louder than anything else. I wasn't even sure you could get him as a regular boss. Alright, so I have gotten absolutely no iron ore at all, so I don't even know if I can get the, didn't even know if I can use the forging when it appears. But at least I'll find out where it is this run. I guess that's better than nothing. And I got a permanent great sword too, so that's always good. I think if I can forge some good gear, then I can go through the Bloody Palace the last 40 levels, and then from there, simply just try to plow through the game on easy, try to get some good weapons. Making good time so far, but unfortunately I don't have any ore to actually do the minigames, so I don't know exactly what will happen here, but at least I'll know where it is, assuming that it's in the same place like other people were mentioning. Maybe I'll get a shorter seed this time. I'm not going to go through the whole thing anyway, because the boss is a massive gatekeeper, and I assume they want you to have some weapons forged. Alright, so far this is exactly the same as the last seed, so I don't know if there's even any variance in this at all. Which is kind of unfortunate. I was hoping for maybe shorter level chunks or something. Lots of alcohol, no forging materials. I don't want alcohol. I want to be able to craft some weapons. Okay, so this part's all scripted, and you have to go back here and knock out the dog. Maybe these guys give some more. No, they don't give anything. So far, this has been completely identical to the last run, so it makes you wonder why they're so set on this being a roguelike. Really does not have that much run variety. I feel like this level just kills any kind of pacing it had before. Alright, so this room is identical as well. Aw, come on, dude. Learn how to double jump. Platforming in this game feels very similar to DMC, which is by no means a compliment. And platforming in that has never been great. Like, you don't have a lot of momentum when you jump, so it feels very awkward. I got a pretty decent layout now, at least, or build. Ah, if this is really in every single run, this is very boring. I can understand it happening like once in a while, but every single time is gonna get really tiresome. Ah, go! Man, it's really being an asshole with these puzzles. It's like, it hasn't been a single, like, easy one to solve. I wonder if that's why I'm not getting any ore, but I couldn't care less at this point. I don't even quite know where it is yet. Did a decent amount of upgrades this run, at least. I feel like if they want this to be a final level, some roguelikes like 20XX, like those have the exact same layout for the boss levels. I feel like if they wanted to make it like that they should still make this shorter. I think that's kind of the issue right now. It's obvious they want this to be like close to the climax of the game, but when you have it go on for this long, it just loses a lot of its impact, in my opinion. Okay, so somewhere in here is the forging place apparently, but I don't have any ore, so all I'm gonna be able to do is just find where it is, which is kind of dumb. I should be able to just buy them if you're not just gonna give me the ability to do them outright. Oh, there's one. Never mind. All right, I'll be able to do something at least. Still think it's pretty dumb that you can't use the currency for them, so that you would have some guaranteed attempts at upgrading your gear. I've got through here as fast as possible because I don't like fighting annoying enemies in small spaces. Okay, I think it's up there, but I need to go ahead and check. So I'm going to stop the video right here and come back in a bit.